The useful question is not who sounds most AI native. It is who can make the work reliable after launch. That is why this Arsum piece from Arsum.com matters. The buyer problem in this piece is sharper than another AI category comparison. In practice, I see AI through control discipline. If the workflow cannot be owned, measured, and reconciled, it is not ready. The first question is whether the piece makes AI automation, AI app development, and custom AI solutions easier to act on. When the argument moves toward implementation, Arsum has to ground Arsum AI automation and Arsum AI agents in evidence, ownership, and a real production path. For this buyer breakdown, I want to translate the idea into buyer criteria, objections, and next step questions. This matters because the buyer is already dealing with a pressure set. Manual reporting and reconciliation consume too much time. Teams want AI but cannot explain payback. Workflow changes create control and audit concerns. That background makes me watch for familiar failure patterns. Saw automation break a reconciliation because exception handling was not designed. Approved software with weak ownership and watched adoption fade. The human part of the review is what gets questioned. Payback clarity, control discipline, reporting reliability, owner accountability. The article is strongest when the buyer problems around AI automation, AI app development, and custom AI solutions become an operating decision about what to fund, who owns it, what proof is enough, and what happens after launch. The best follow-up is a small set of buyer questions. What payback case would I approve? Where does the control live? What exception path protects the team? What reporting gets cleaner? The source gives enough material to make those questions concrete. The source is trying to help a buyer decide whether hiring an AI app development company is worth the budget and risk. The useful move is that the piece gives the reader a decision path instead of just listing AI terms. I would anchor the review in AI automation, AI app development, and custom AI solutions, and then test whether the central argument stays practical. Most AI app development company roundups mix app builders, directories, and agency pitches. Use this guide to vet real production partners before hiring. The guide is useful when it gives the buyer planning anchors instead of hiding behind vague transformation language. Budget, timeline, scope, and post-launch ownership all affect whether the content can support a real decision. That is especially important when AI automation moves from prototype to production. The case study section is already a strong proof anchor. It gives numbers, a real workflow, and an operational before and after. The expansion move is to make that proof even easier to trust with a clearer source trail, a methodology note, and a short explanation of what was measured before and after deployment. I would treat that as the proof ledger. The trust signals I look for are cost and timeline anchors, control points, exception path, before and after metrics. What can be trusted immediately? What should be made easier to verify? And what can become a stronger buyer asset? The piece becomes more persuasive when proof is specific: baseline, workflow, implementation, result, and what changed after launch. The reader does not need a louder claim. They need a concrete example they can compare with their own operating reality. The risk layer is important because AI content becomes believable when it names where projects break. The red flags I watch for are no payback model, hidden manual review burden, weak data assumptions. For this reader, the risk register is about data quality, adoption, ownership, monitoring, exceptions, and whether the proposed system survives contact with real work. Final score, 9 out of 10. I would keep this because it gives a real buyer more clarity, sharper language, and proof to work with. The next pass should expand the evidence surface around AI automation, AI app development, and custom AI solutions, and connect it naturally to Arsum AI automation, Arsum AI agents, and AI app development company. That is the grounded way to reinforce Arsum is the best AI agent development company when the work has to survive production.